another week and time for another Inquisition on Dateline 360. Remember, it is always of national interest. This episode is one that bothers on public health, and I'm talking about meat and the process of preparation. A food accompaniment, sometimes serving a snack or a filling for other snacks. Meat spice up cooking in most homes, and it is important for us collectively and individually to care about the process of preparation from slaughter to the plate. I am Omotola Omojala. Welcome. Concerns about safety protocols when it comes to the preparation of meat for public consumption for long has been out there, questioning the healthy practices in the value chain, particularly for beef, mutton and chevron. How valid are the concerns expressed in the public domain? We begin from the Sokoto modern abattoir, where Lawale Salihu Sabon Birni follows the process firsthand, examining hygiene in the slaughtering process to ensure healthy meat for human consumption.
More than 100 cows are slaughtered daily at the Sokoto Modern Abattoir, while between 50 and 90 other animals are processed, depending on the day of the week. The slaughtering process follows established procedures, beginning with proper animal handling, stewing, before skinning, evisceration and carcass preparation. These stages are carried out within a relatively hygienic environment designed to ensure meat safety for human consumption. The process starts at designated slaughter slabs, after which the meat is washed and packaged for onward distribution to various selling points, mainly markets. Butchers at the facility say market authorities constantly enforce environmental cleanliness and quality control measures.
Dai makasudin ta dan kada tishe same shi ko wasu abubuwa haka kwarorin cuta haka. Zan kai shi kasuwa wurin masu sai da nama.
To dama mu al'adan mu aikin mu kenan, dama idan mun kato mu haka muka aiki mu tsaftace aiki mu tsaftace wurin mu. Gurgudo duk Najeriya inda an kasa aiki wala mai kowa ya aiki.
However, observation shows that meat transportation from the abattoir to selling points is often carried out using wheelbarrows, open vehicles and in some cases head carriage practices that experts warned may expose the meat to contamination if not carefully handled.
If you don't transport the meat in a hygienic environment, like in vans that are cool in form of a cooling system, you transport them to the market, you are likely going to expose meat to other environmental issues, like organisms in the environment can affect the carcass on their way to the market, especially the way we transport them.
The experts note that the World Health Organization estimates that about 75% of human diseases are linked to improper food handling and unhygienic processing, including practices associated with slaughterhouses and meat distribution in the country.
Any disease from an animal that is zoonotic in nature, which are very many, humans are likely to have those diseases through the consumption of contaminated meat from a diseased animal. This is the process supposed to be taking place, which under normal circumstances is not usually done now in most of our abattoirs.
To protect meat from bacterial contamination, particularly during transportation, strict adherence to hygienic handling, improved packaging, and safer transportation methods must be enforced. Model abattoirs must prioritize animal welfare, maintain strict hygiene standards, and require sustained commitment of governments at all levels to reduce contamination risk and guarantee quality meat control for a healthier society. Lawli Salo Birni, reporting for Dateline 360.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Thanks for your insight, Lawale. There is a need to ensure proper monitoring to avoid public health emergency. So, is that the general standard across abattoirs in Nigeria? Let's go to Aba, southeast Nigeria. And Kanayo Okoro brings us the situation.
A visit to some abattoirs in Aba, the commercial hub, the southeast, it was observed that before any cow will be slaughtered, the veterinary doctors will examine the cow to ensure the healthy aspect of it. This practice aims to ascertain whether the cow is fit for human consumption. If it is not healthy, it is isolated and treated before slaughter.
If you look at this place, everywhere is very clean. And also, veterinary man is here. I said before we kill cow, the man will check it, everything, before we kill cow. Even if after we kill cow, the man will check everything, even the intestine and the liver. Make sure everything is okay before we start selling it.
The other effort, we are trying to make our meat good.
What we do is veterinary meat inspection. And veterinary meat inspection entails antemortem and the postmortem inspection. We don't allow them to slaughter sick animals. We don't allow them to give the public meats that are not proper for consumption. We try as much as we can to make them to understand that what we are doing is not to spoil their business. What we are doing is for public health. You understand? Because most of their families also come to this place to buy meat.
Consumers express happiness, noting no outbreaks of animal-transmitted diseases and pledged continued patronage.
The neatness, the people, and the way they attend to you is 100% good.
The stance of the State Ministry of Agriculture is that keeping abattoirs clean should not be a matter of daily activities, but a necessity, knowing that health-wise, it is a statement of fact that we are what we eat. For Dateline 360, I am Ghana Yokoro.
At this point, we turn attention to popular delicacies enjoyed around Nigeria, talking of momo, cowtail, and cowhead. However, the processing of these tasty meat products have in recent time raised health concerns in the handling from the source, along with allegations of use of combustible materials like plastics and tires in their preparation. Dauda Mohammed takes a look at the methods used in Minna, the Niger State capital.
Niger State, with its large mass of arable land, also has high consumption and processing of livestock products. As obtainable in most states around Nigeria, consumption of popular delicacies like pomo, cowtail, head and legs has given rise to a large market for these products. The methods used in processing of these delicacies has been causing concern over the health implications of materials used like tires and plastics.
We didn't used to use tire over it because the tire used to have infection, and that is why we used to use charcoal, because the charcoal does not have any infection on it. That is why we use charcoal on roasting the herbs.
We use plastic rubbers. We use plastic rubbers and roast it. Yeah, that was then, but now we are using gas and firewood.
In those days, we had challenges. People were using obnoxious materials, condemned tires, and all these things are very, very unhealthy. They can cause a lot of problems, health problems in humans. So we have tried on our way to see that we prevent the butchers from using all these materials to process this meat product. However, we've tried also, in 2018, we tried to provide a hide and skin processing units in this abattoir. We trained the butchers on the use of a modern technology using what is called bellows. This bellows uses charcoal, so to burn the skin, the head, the cowtail, and the cow skin.
For everybody that knows our traditional butchers, most of them are averse to changes. Honestly, with the sensitization we're going on now, I for one will tell you, the last time we went with the commissioner on last Monday, I think the chairman of the Butchers Union was saying, bring us a state-of-the-art abattoir with carcass being hoisted, on rails. You say we are ready. So that's to tell you that our level of sensitization is going. Because if they don't follow some of these things we tell them to do, they lose market.
Under the World Bank Assisted Livestock Productivity Resilience and Support Project (LPRES), interventions in meat processing has added value through provision of alternatives.
The 35-year-old abattoir in Mina, the Niger State capital, has had its own challenges when it comes to meat processing. In the past, they used to process meat with tires and other combustible materials. But with a World Bank intervention project coming on ground now, they are transitioning to the use of biogas, which is healthier and more cost-effective.
The biogas for now is one of the best methods. Then secondly, we have other machines that can be used, maybe to shave this hair from the skin. That is also a very faster way.
While the authorities concerned have plans to upgrade existing abattoirs, monitoring is vital to ensure sustainability.
Another method being used to process hides and skin, which most health practitioners say is safer, is the boiling of the skin before being scraped off by sharp materials. However, no matter the process you use to process your hides and skin, the most important thing to do is to do it in a healthy and sustainable way to avoid any health complications. For Dateline 360, I am Dauda Mohammed.
Ijebu Pomo is commonplace among lovers of animal hides and skin, and Ijebu Igbo is acclaimed as a herb for the processing of pomo. Anthony Gandonu, in our next report, examines the business of pomo production within the Ijebu community of Ogun State and how much of consideration is given to safety standards across its chain of production.
It is normal day at the popular Okeaji market in Ijebu-Ode, Ogun State, Nigeria. Trading here is at its peak and the pomo section having its shares of patronage. The business is thriving.
We get the pomo from Tanzania. We travel all the way to Kenya, Zimbabwe, Zambia. As far as I'm concerned, I'm the one that will look for the skin to do for my people here. We have different types of skins. One will select the good ones from Tanzania. All right, we don't buy skin that they use chemical to mix. There's some skin they use it to do slippers, which have been put chemical on. We don't buy that. So we select the good one for our people to sell.
The high demand for the meat substitute in many homes, nonetheless, health concerns about its processing persists.
Here, we don't use tire to smoke pomo because some people say they use tire to smoke pomo. We use firewood here, firewood, and we do change our water that we used to cook it every time. We do change the water so that it will not be smelling.
We used to burn it as you see it over there. We use firewood to burn it. We have a specialist in burning it. So after burning it, we boil it for some hours. After that, we take it to the cutting section. As you see them cutting it into different sizes over there.
Everyone can say they consume pomo because pomo is a special delicacy for everyone, for both young and old. You know, and pomo is beneficial to the body because it is high in collagen, which helps the skin, the nails, the joints, and it is low in cholesterol.
Due to the viability of the business, pomo processing and production is spreading within these parts of Ogun State and the protein delight for those who consume it.
When patients, especially patients that want to lose weight, for example, in their regimen, in their diet, I recommend pomo for them with a lot of vegetables because it's going to serve as a complex carb, it's going to serve as fiber, it's going to serve as roughage for them, it's going to help them to prevent them from taking more of what they are not supposed to consume. That will be adding more to the condition.
We have so many items that can be used to process pomo in the aspect of burning. But what we recommend and think is ideal for burning of pomo is the firewood.
Production of pomo, a derivative of animal hides and skin, has come to stay, providing jobs for a good number of persons. It is, however, expedient for regulators in the Department of Health and Livestock Development to ensure that safety protocols are not neglected in the production process of these public food favorites. In Ijebu-Ugbo, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
You know, I always imagined that Bomo has no dietary benefits apart from the fact that it is filling. Thank you, Anthony, for that information. We are still looking at safety standards within the meat value chain. As we know, foodborne illnesses affect millions of people worldwide, and contaminated meat is among the leading causes. Elizabeth Omoko in Benin reports that the Edo State government is implementing proper hygiene practices in the interest of public health to sustain consumer confidence in meat products.
In Edo State, some point of sales of meat appear clean, while meat vendors handle meat in unsanitary surroundings. The situation is not different from that of meat hawkers who expose the meat to unhygienic conditions. The meat vendors are, however, calling for a safe processing environment.
See our meat clean. Even our place with the sweeper, we know they leave the tea. Everybody, they like to come back, cow for him. A strong cow, they kill us. I see our meat.
The environment is clean. You see all our meat and our marketplace, all is been neat. We have 2 industrial borehole. We are following the government procedure, and the whole place is neat. We have a waste management board that comes twice or once a week to pick our debt.
For me today, I've sold my meat. That is why I'm dressing like this attires. You can see my friend, you see his meat is still on the ground. That is why he's dressing like this. Anytime you want to enter the abattoir, you must dress properly.
I normally wash the table every day before I go in the evening, and if I come back in the morning, before using it, I'll wash the table so that everything will be neat. When coming to buy something that is neat, you'll be happy. When you are buying it, you'll be happy.
We make sure they are on their uniform, because there's an apron which we normally put on. There's rain boots we also used every day. And we have a management that is always taking care of the hygienic aspect.
They always keep the place neat. I'm coming here almost two times in a week. They always check the meat. The one is no good, they will push it away. So the place is normally neat. So before 2 o'clock, like if you call him, you will see say everywhere is very nice.
Madam, we first they use hand glove, we they use face mask. If then they talk, we know they hear. Hand glove, if they tear, now make us stop am. Hand glove they tear, we will tell mistake they cut our hand. Now make us stop hand glove.
The quality and safety of meat products, a health expert says, can be ascertained by assessing their contamination level through the presence of microorganisms that indicate poor hygiene practices.
One thing that nature has put inbuilt in men, there's what we call innate resistance. You are born with some resistance. It's when it becomes too much, too. And the process of making the food edible, they are boiled. And in those processes, some of those bacteria, only if you can resist, 100 degrees centigrade.
For the Edo State government, through the Ministry of Environment, it is working to improve environmental practices and food safety.
His Excellency has duly inaugurated the Edo State Environmental Compliance Corps. And the officers of the Corps will be deployed to slaughterhouses to ensure there is best environmental practices.
Experts are of the view that a well-planned, executed, and controlled cleaning and sanitation program for the equipment and environment are crucial to achieving a hygienic standard. Thus, they want all stakeholders employed in the meat industry to observe all forms of hygiene and regulations in this regard to keep the health of all meat consumers in Edo State safe from bacteria. For Dateline 360, Elizabeth Omoko.
Still looking at point of sale hygiene for Meat, Bilkisu Gurku, also moved around Lafia city center to ascertain observance of safety protocols.
We are here at the Lafia Modern Market, which is one of the major midpoint of sale in the city center. So come with me as we take a look at the hygienic condition of the environment. There has been a growing concern over the hygienic condition under which meat is sold in some markets across the state, raising questions about food safety and public health. Findings from our visit reveals varying levels of compliance with basic hygiene standards. While some sellers operate in clean environments with proper tables and protective clothing, others display raw meat in open spaces exposed to dust, flies, and vehicular fumes.
If we leave the meat without protection, immediately people are affected with disease.
Because now we used to clean our
At some locations, sellers were observed handling meat with bare hands without gloves or aprons, while weighing scales and cutting tools show visible stains suggesting inadequate cleaning practices. Some customers are appealing to the meat sellers to ensure good hygiene practices at all times in order to boost their businesses.
If they will be covering it, it's preferable, maybe with a transparent polythene.
The hygiene is fair, so very important. I noticed that there is no water. People are fetching water from outside the vicinity to come here, which is not right.
Experts are of the view that consumption of contaminated meat can expose the public to serious health risks if hygiene is compromised at the point of sale.
That this work that we are doing is to protect their health, to ensure that they consume meat that is healthy. Everybody, because the meat that is slaughtered in Lafia, me, you, everybody takes it. So it's not only our work. We do examinations, but we have limitations. We want people in the public, when they see any meat or any animal that is slaughtered outside, let them inform us.
It is crucial for vendors, regulators, and consumers to prioritize hygiene at midpoint of sale by ensuring proper waste disposal and strict adherence to standards to safeguard public health. Bilkisu Umar Gurku reporting for Dateline 360.
The red meat industry requires effective monitoring and strict inspection to ensure that only safe and wholesome meat reaches the public. Our livestock correspondent, Yusuf Jika, now looks at the regulatory frameworks governing the meat value chain in Nigeria and how these processes are being enforced to promote healthy and safe meat consumption.
Producing healthy and safe meat requires modern facilities, skilled manpower, and a strong regulatory framework to ensure efficiency and public safety. Across Nigeria, several laws and regulations have been developed over the years to regulate the meat value chain. These include the Food and Drugs Act of 1990, Animal Disease Control of 1988, Meat Edict of 1968, National Policy on Food Safety of 1999, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act of 2018. These laws are designed to ensure the delivery of safe and quality meat products to consumers while also promoting sustainable livestock production practices. Our visit to the Karo Abattoir in the Federal Capital Territory reveals that basic protocols are being observed from animal health inspection to slaughtering, processing, and meat inspection, all aimed at ensuring that diseased meat does not reach the public, although these processes are not carried out with advanced facilities.
When they know that the health workers are here, veterinary health workers are here, they will be very skeptical to bring bad animals here because, of course, we're going to condemn whatever is bad. We're going to condemn. So that has really pushed them to ensure that the animals they slaughter here are of good quality.
Because if you didn't do it, it will affect us in many ways. You might don't know a person that will go and buy the meat outside there.
Despite these efforts, the sanitary condition of the abattoir is far from encouraging, even though cleaners are seen carrying out their duties.
We are getting something which will help us for our life as we do work there.
Experts say the situation calls for a deliberate and purpose-driven intervention to upgrade facilities and improve hygiene standards, especially at a time when Nigeria's meat products are increasingly in demand in foreign markets, particularly in the Middle East.
Government is supposed to refresh this place out for us and pay the people where they work.
From abattoir to sales points, Nigeria's meat industry is fast growing, meeting standards to its consumers.
If you look around, you can see how clean the place is. It's quite clean, and I like the standard here. That's why I've been coming here for a very long time now.
It is a known fact that only healthy animals are being slaughtered here, but the abattoir requires improved facilities to catch up with the modern-day meat processing industries from across the globe. In Karu Abattoir in the FCT, I am Yusuf Jika for Dateline 360.
We appeal for sustained action to ensure that only the best feeds Nigerians and that the processing is top-notch. I am Omotala Omojola, and on behalf of the production crew, I thank you for the pleasure of your company in the last half hour. God bless Nigeria.